Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. In fact, we are doing something quite insane today. It is 5:10 in the morning. I'm having a bout of insomnia. I'm not going to trade any of these things, so that means I need to get 5 games with the Druid and Rogue, 5 games with the Priest and Warlock, and 3 games with the Shaman. And we can start with the 7 ball. In the previous 3 days, there has not been barely any, much any news at all. I'm not looking at the blank board, but I wrote pretty widely to fill up half of it. Let's see what this is. Spires and Portals have their chance. Now you choose. Pick 1 card for your deck, and you'll get 22 copies plus 8 random class cards. Alright. So, this is an insane tavern brawl, but it may actually save me some time. Let's start with Shaman, and then we'll move on from there. The one card that the Shaman could really succeed from, what would that card be? To get 22 copies of it and play. It kind of needs to be a 0 mana thing, right? That's like 22 copies of the Wisp. Does that help? 22 copies of this. Does this help? "22 copies of Murlocs." Sure. There we go. That's our 1 card. The only other thing you could do is just throw a minion to full health and give it taunt. Or give your totems plus 2 health. Or Wing Fury Overload 1. Let's try this craziness. So yeah, I'm having a crazy experiment here. Now, almost certainly, if I tried to go to sleep like right now, probably still take me about 3 hours to go to sleep. But then I would sleep for 10 to 11 hours. I've never really had a problem with short bits of sleep unless I fall asleep for a nap and unintentionally fall asleep, and then I'll sleep for about 4 or 5 hours then, and then I won't be tired to when I actually am supposed to sleep. Some insomniacs certainly do wake up after a couple hours and do that. That's not my issue. My issue is the quality of the sleep. So I'll wake up 10, 11 hours past after going to sleep and still feel like garbage. It feels like I wouldn't have slept, haven't even slept at all. And that's the core of it. That's the issue. But if I did go to sleep now, and that's not what I was even meaning to talk about, almost certainly, maybe I get like 5 or 10 more things. It's Friday as of recording this, so I could certainly maybe get 5 or 6 more things. The Valve Dev Days is happening. Maybe something will get announced there of interest. I don't think any software stuff is going to be announced. I think they've already come out directly and said that no, there won't be any software stuff announced. So, in theory, since I just lost footage 2 recording sessions ago, I should try to go for an hour and 30 minutes playing it, but I've got a considerably small amount of things to talk about, so it is just going to be me sitting here. This is very weird. Somebody else is here. Well, I guess that's not incredibly weird that somebody else would be online, because it is possible that that he's a time zone away or an early to wake person.
You have been.
So it wouldn't be totally crazy to wake up at like 6 in the morning and then let's just stick here with this. I suppose we may just try the Tavern Brawl with all of the quests. That would be crazy to wake up in the morning, play a little bit of Hearthstone.
Morgul versus Anduin.
Getting ready for your day.
Bring victory.
What's interesting about this Tavern Brawl versus the previous versions we've seen like this, where it was pick one card and you get 30 of it, or pick one card and you get or pick two cards and you get a random assortment of those two cards. This one is throwing in some random basic cards, or either random basic cards or classic cards or something. We'll have to look through what it says again. That way you can be given some reasons to learn some new strategies there.
Job done.
So I've spent the past couple days playing Lego Harry Potter years 5 through 7.
A second chance.
And by all rights, I should be super mad at this game and hate it terribly, because this game is super buggy. It lags like every couple minutes playing it on PC. And it's really unplayable. But I played it all the way through the story because I'd already done Lego Harry Potter 1 through 4. I was kind of painted into a corner. I mean, either I rage quit in the middle of the thing and said, well, too bad that you can't see the story of the rest of the story of Lego Harry Potter, or I just struggled through it. So I chose to struggle through it, and it worked throughout every single level. Every couple minutes it stuttered for paused. I have no clue. It makes no sense why it stutters and why it pauses, and I could have figured out. And then I was messing with the settings after I had recorded the entire series, thinking maybe I can fix this, but if I had fixed it, then I would have absolutely had to gone back and re-record the entire series. So 20 hours of footage would have had to be re-recorded. And that would have been a nightmare. And then I would have been repeating myself and just doing a worse job at it. So I'm rather glad that after messing with the settings for a while, I've determined that there's nothing in the configuration file that fixes the stuttering. Certainly it seems like some things may lower it a little bit, but nothing fixes it. It still stutters, and that's fine by me, I suppose. And it also puts me in a weird position, though, because the Lego Harry Potter collection is coming out in a remastered format for PlayStation 4, and yet there's no patch or anything for this, like, 5-year-old game, maybe 3-year-old game. No patch has been released on PC. Random class cards is what you get. So, like WB is the main company there. Traveler Tales TT Games is the actual company that made it.
Morgul versus Valera.
It certainly puts it right there. The bottom of the list of LEGO games are LEGO The Hobbit, which is missing the DLC that actually finishes the story. LEGO The Lord of the Rings. And now, right above that is LEGO Harry Potter 5 through 7. And de facto, then you have to go LEGO Harry Potter 1 through 4. Because you really can't play... oh no. This guy's gonna be happy.
Job done.
Every time I play Murloc, it's just gonna help him. And he picked the better Murloc than what I did. Here. So I don't know how I can win this. It seems impossible.
Job done.
So, some of my common class cards near yeah, and there's really not anything more I can say about like Harry Potter. It's a pretty bad game, even on its own merit. I'm just gonna have to lose this one, so I might as well just make it fast, and we'll make it funny here. I literally ended that series going, I must be a sucker, because I'm not mad. I wasn't mad at the game, and I had every reason to be mad at it. It made me suffer throughout the whole thing, and I only played the story mode, so this is also the first LEGO game that I didn't play to 100%. On the recording, I had already played it to 100% on Xbox 360, and I am almost certain it did not have that many lags in the 360 version. Maybe once it lagged in the entire game. So after that, I just got a save file with 100% and saved it in there. Don't feel too bad about cheating that. Really. I do kind of feel bad about making a month's worth of content there that's one gonna be really short because I'm gonna spread it to a month, which in one aspect that actually helps me move forward, because now instead of spending 60 hours getting to 100% to record December's LEGO, I'm simply spreading the LEGO episodes up and not doubling up like I usually do. And with the lack of that doubling up, that gives me more free time to record other things, so I can make some progress about getting ahead again, which I slowly am doing.
Reporting for duty.
and I can just move on to the next Lego game. There really aren't that many more Lego games left. After a while, I have maybe 5. I could see halfway through 2017 running out of Lego games. Which is alright because
The victory is yours.
I'm sure something else will come up or happen. Let's see, 15 minutes. Either I drop that time slot, which might be a good idea because I don't have a ton of other things to do, or I can figure something else to do. So now which one do I want to choose? Let's see. Priest is at 60, so we'll make a Warlock deck next. And we may just use this Tavern Brawl as a great example of a way to sneak through this. Let's see. Warlock. And what cards do I want? Spend all your things. Destroy a demon, restore 5 health. Choose an enemy, kill it. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If it kills it, draw a card. If it was just to deal 1 damage, maybe. I could also do taunt characters like crazy. How about this? Let's play this card. So, let's see. Let's hit the board here. My throat has been weird lately. I don't know if I'm getting something with it or it's just been an awkward day, or I haven't drunk enough water or something here.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Your soul
So,
shall be mine.
Delayed games list. Cuphead, which has already been pushed once, has now been delayed to mid-2017. Now, there is something a little bit awkward about the development of Cuphead because it was originally a game where it was just going to be a boss rush game with this old school Steamboat Willie style of cartoon. Steamboat Willie is one of the earliest.
I have big plans. I have big plans.
It's one of the earliest cartoons that Disney made, I think. But then people started kind of saying, well, it's just this boss rush, and because of that, they started adding some platforming to it. And so you.
I have big plans. I have big plans. I have big plans.
So they started adding the platforming to it, and the platforming is not totally complete or totally great, and people started criticizing that. And so I'm wondering if this looks like they're digging themselves deeper and deeper into this thing, where it's like they're just gonna constantly try to improve upon it, and we've got another potential Duke Forever on our hands, where it's just they're gonna push it and they're gonna push it and they're gonna push it. These very well may be just issues that would have happened in a lot of developments. The only difference, I think, here is that they made the mistake of announcing it too early. So yes, that's the one delayed game. Turok 2 is getting a remaster. It's probably going to be too old. That's what I've got for you. Turok 1 was remastered and released in fans of Turok, I'm sure, appreciated that, but personally, I never played Turok 1, and that's really what it's going to come down to. Is just like some of these games are just too old. Like the Duke Nukem 3D World Tour, I think, is out right now. And that thing's too old to. Like, I couldn't imagine playing that since I never played Duke Nukem. I don't think I'm gonna win here, by the way. So Valve's is going to add more support for the DualShock 4, which is still kind of weird because I don't think that even Sony still has official support for it. But that it basically means that they're integrating it into their configuration system, though it's still very much up to every video game player programmer to make each game support the features there. It's not as simple as treating a DualShock 4 like an Xbox controller. Yeah, we're just.
I have big plans.
I thought this was a good card, but
I have big plans.
Noah's Hailstorm is beating me. Like a legendary 0, I guess, would work. A legendary 1 would probably work too.
Chaos beckons.
Is this thing gonna win or what? Is
I
it?
have big plans.
There we go. 5 damage to my hero. So let's see. There's this game that's in early access that's done something groundbreaking, quite actually. They've decided to give away free codes to people who have beaten the Bind of Isaac on hard mode, or have the achievement for beating any of the characters on hard mode. So you could just beat the game on hard mode and get the achievement and get a free copy of it, which would be the easiest of the achievements. Or you can get any of the achievements that start Eternal as their name, and anything that starts Eternal means that you beat with that specific character on hard mode. Now, Binding of Isaac on hard mode is an incredibly difficult thing, so you're talking, this is a reward for the basically best Binding of Isaac players, and the idea is Polygon figures that the game is going to be, their game is going to be somewhat similar and have the same audience, and that those people will play it. Now, why this is so groundbreaking is because it's the first time anybody has ever given away, as far as I know, any reward for getting an achievement, short of like getting achievements in Steam or Gamerscore and Xbox and stuff like that. No actual thing that has a monetary value has ever been given away. So, on one hand, they may have actually established it as gambling unintentionally here.
Soon.
Let's see, what does this one do? Deal 1 damage to 1 random enemy.
Soon.
But it's also groundbreaking because it's opened that door. And that is a huge door that will open. What if in 5 years getting certain achievements on certain games did earn you the rights to a new game? To the sequel of that game. I don't think this is working as well as I thought it was going to. So, yeah, that's interesting. The problem with it though it's not particularly difficult to cheat at games, and it's not particularly difficult to cause Steam to think you have achievements that you don't deserve, from what I've heard. So, if this became a thing that happened more often, it certainly would make for problems if the developers start realizing, oh no, these people are just giving themselves these achievements so that they get the free games.
I have big plans. I have big plans. I have big plans.
This card has not worked once so far. So that's interesting. The new Vive controllers, I got a picture of them. They're kind of interesting because they're for VR, first of all, and they can tell if you're gripping on items or not, if you're making a grip on the controller, which then certainly opens up the doorway. Here, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, there's no way I'm not gonna lose here. And at 26 minutes, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother to record a second one. Like, what the Vive controllers have a place where your thumb goes too. That's kind of like a touchpad with buttons around the edge. So it is kind of like the Steam controller, which I still haven't decided to. Let's go ahead and open this right now. I haven't ever held the Steam controller in my hand, but I don't think it looks like something I'd want to play with. At some point, I would like to upgrade my Xbox 360 controller to an Xbox One once those get cheaper. But right now, I'm more kind of thinking about saving up for a better video card. Let's see. So we have also Druid and Rogue. Rogue is not done, Druid's not done, so I can pick either one of these. Let's see. Delete. Let's try Rogue. What card could we play? Deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion. Next spell you cast costs 3 less. Whenever your weapon is equipped, give it +1 attack. There we go. We'll play with that. So yeah, those Vive controllers are an interesting thing because I could see being blind because you have the VR on, and that controller actually working, but it also, I guess, needs to be registering whether you're moving your hands forward or back and all of that.
Watch.
But maybe they can figure that out. Maybe they can figure out some trick to it. Let's see, let's go ahead and give it a Thistle Tea. Steam Link is going to be integrated in the Samsung TVs, which is cool. I don't know if Steam Link is really going to ever be a huge deal, but it's trying, and I like to see that succeed. And that moves us further into Samsung, which Samsung in general is having a really bad time right now. Good. Alright, that's one victory. Because of the exploding Samsung Note 7s. And I have to make a confession. I'm kind of thinking about getting a new phone, and I was gonna get a Samsung S7, not the Note 7, but the S7, not the one that's
Watch
exploding
your
in the flames.
back.
But you kind of have this whole issue here, don't you? So now maybe I can hold out till the next top of the line thing happens. There was certainly one issue with the S7 in the fact that it has a internal battery, which is not really great for me because batteries get tend to be destroyed in my phones, particularly now since I leave it plugged in most of the time. Let's see, Jennifer, the hand, it costs 2 less. Alright.
Feed the fish, landlubber. Feed the fish, landlubber. Yo ho ho! Yo ho ho!
In return, so yeah, I'm still kind of thinking about getting a Samsung S7, but it'd be nice if something else came about. I would get the new Pixels that were the Nexuses, if they were available on something besides Verizon, and if they had SD cards, but Google hates SD cards, so
Feed the fish, landlubber.
that's not gonna happen. Alright, so I have 6
Here we go.
and we'll go ahead and get this guy, this guy, and who's a real troublemaker here? I mean, I could get rid of this guy.
Yo ho ho! Yo ho ho!
In the thing.
The Fire Lord calls.
Interesting. I don't have this card, I don't believe. I do believe. Actually, I do believe I don't have that card. And then finally, that we are now at the bottom of my list. I was not joking about nothing has happened.
Feed the fish, feed the fish,
Here we
landlubber.
go.
FIFA probably has a bug in it because characters are averaging
Yo ho!
1 injury. FIFA, soccer, football. The characters are averaging an injury every single game. Every single game, you're getting at least 1 injury, sometimes 2 injuries. Ironically, it's like the real world where they pretend to be injured all the time. I think there's probably some bad sportsmanship going on in soccer, and also people are getting forced to play games they just don't care about. Let's see. Give your weapon. Give this and a random friendly minion. Let's see. We will do this. We will do this. We will do this.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
This. And
Here
will
we
win.
go.
So I'm not sure, and I'm surprised that we're talking about FIFA again after their little Twitter debacle, but yeah, I'm just not sure if the injuries that they sustain in the game mean anything after the game, or if they're just automatically healed after that. Do you have to sit out injured players for a certain number of games afterwards? It's already been 35 minutes. I've just
Valera
exhausted
versus
everything
Anduin.
and erased everything, which is
The light shall
not what
bring
I'm supposed to
victory.
do because
Watch your
I may
back.
be having a recording issue. Hopefully my I'm not having a recording issue, and hopefully that wasn't too loud putting the board back on the microphone. Another thing I'm not supposed to do. Obviously I'm not thinking the greatest right now at 5:45 in the morning.
Feed the fish,
But-
landlubber.
I do think what we're gonna do is after this game, this is gonna be the only recording for this recording session. I think I'll just lie in bed, try to go to sleep, and get the rest of these. These tavern balls are going to make it pretty easy to get victory, as long as I can find
Feed the
a
fish,
good,
landlubber. Fish, landlubber.
a good card to play. That one good card is all you kind of need to beat whatever their one good card is. See, he's playing deal 5 damage to the enemy.
Feed the fish,
Probably
landlubber.
still won't play.
Here we go.
But it's not going to be fast enough. He's just not going to be fast enough if he doesn't have something to play. And even if he does play something, if it doesn't have 2 health, I can destroy it for free. But I can see how white people would think that dealing 5 damage to the face is a good move. I just have something better. Yo
Here
ho.
we go.
Six damage. See, and if it was up to a 6th turn, he could play 3 copies of that card and take out 15 health. But he can't. So it's pretty obvious what the strategy is gonna be for the rest of these. So, actually, I'm kind of happy about this now that I think about it, because this means I can go to sleep and wake up at like 1 in the afternoon today, and then I can work on Pinball FX 2,
Here we
which
go.
is the next thing. I was halfway through that, and then I decided I'd better do the Harry Potter things to get the content ID, because I know there's going to be tons of content ID with Harry Potter music, so made sure I did all that. So yeah, it's probably only going to take me maybe 20 more minutes to get 2 more victories here and 5 victories here. Worst case scenario, I play as the priest instead of the warlock there and find the card. But yeah, I don't have anything to talk about, and I can't really even imagine sitting here and just not talking. That was one of the backup plans I was going to have here if the tavern brawl didn't prove itself to be as helpful as it actually proved itself to be, is I was just going to start going silent and would just, as an experiment, record an entire session where I'm barely saying anything, which, yeah, that's not good content. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.